What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today, and today I have another Airline Collectible Haul video for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video, as today we'll take a look at both the Chicago one-day show material here from the spring of 2024, and we'll also take a look at the Companion Pass day trip run as well from Southwest. So I really hope each and every one of you are excited for this. We have a bunch of really great material to dive into here, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. So without any further delay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with the Chicago one-day show that was held on May 11th, 2024. What an awesome show it was. It was so much fun, and I was able to get some really cool memorabilia items. To check out the models, feel free to check out Massive Unboxing number 47, as that has all the models from that. But here we go for our flight material and also the non-model memorabilia. So here we go. So this is our boarding pass for today. I wish United was right here, but it's a little unfortunate. So this actually was printed out at the common use gate, so that's why it's so goofy here. But nevertheless, this is a United Airlines E-175 flight from Tulsa to Chicago, left out of gate B4, so that kind of shows you where the common use is. So this is what a common use boarding pass looks like. We've seen these from Allegiant in the past at Tulsa International Airport, so that's exactly what's going on here. Southwest Airlines printed there is pretty interesting too. So overall, this looks really great. Boarding 7:08, boarding in 7:18, flight departs 7:33, arriving at 9:35, and we also had 11A, which is super cool that United lets you move up to the preferred seats 24 hours within the check-in window. So that's really nice. But yeah, unfortunate that doesn't have many airline logos on it, but I can't expect much more. I mean, come on now. So still super glad to get this unique boarding pass. I wish I would have been able to get another one, but I was running a little short on time. But this is still really great. It's certainly super glad to have that boarding pass today. The next item is a super nice, beautiful edition. Finally have one of these. Or actually, I think I have one. I just haven't looked at it in a long time. But anyway, the United E-175 safety card here for SkyWest. So this is super cool. I did fly one in 2023, so I might have one more, but this is what comes to mind. Actually, the other one, I think, they're about equivalent shape. Anyway, really solid shape, E-175 and then you got the United Express operated by SkyWest Airlines, and this is revision number 4 here. So super glad to get this one. Overall, it looks really nice. So definitely some really good graphics in there. I think United uses all of the same brand for this, which is really cool. And the last Airline Collectible Haul, we dived into the brand. This one is, it doesn't say when, but it was who it's by rather, but October 2021. I'm looking here just in case I'm missing a copyright date, because I would love to see who makes these so I get a better understanding here. So it's got IFPSC9, so maybe that has some information to do with it. But yeah, that's really cool to see. So definitely really awesome. Get that safety card and another one. So if you want it, feel free to comment below, and just we'll message on Instagram or email, and I can get your address and send it over your way. And then we have this beautiful air sickness bag as well. So that's really great, and certainly super glad to add those to the fleet as well. Next up, we have the beautiful United Hemisphere magazine, which I'm pretty sure that they're discontinuing these, which is really unfortunate. That's what I heard in the Jeb Brooks video from the other day. So yeah, super glad to get this one. This one talks about 3 perfect days in Alaska, which is really cool. It's a really cool shot. But anyway, definitely want to reflect on this, considering that these are going to be gone here at some point. This isn't the prettiest one I have by any means, based upon this bend right here, but I'm still really glad to have it. So again, Tulsa to Chicago was the route, so you can see all the places right there. So going from Tulsa to Chicago was a really fun flight. So glad they're back to 3 daily on that. It's really great. So definitely hope to use it more in the future, but definitely probably the cheapest I'll get it for. Can't believe it got for $60. That was awesome. So I was really happy about that, and overall looking really nice. We also have the credit card promotion here for 65,000 bonus miles, which it's definitely a solid card, especially if you're going internationally. So here's all their various cards. So that's certainly really awesome to see. And that was our first flight. Now we go on to the memorabilia from the Chicago show. Again, feel free to check out the Massive Unboxing 47 for all the models. But anyway, so thank you so much, Chris Slimmer, for selling me all these items. These all come from him, of course, because yes, yes, and yes, excluding a couple others that we'll take a look at here in a moment. The first item is the whole new LGA Terminal, which is super cool. So this is a really awesome cards. He gives out some freebies. So talks about the statistics here with the feet of space in the new runways, along with the bridges and the efficiency, so on and so forth. So this is really awesome to see, and definitely super glad they've made some really awesome rounds there, to say the least. And we also have a variety of very unique timetables and other memorabilia items, beginning here with the Trans-Texas Airways timetable effective February 1st, 1956. So it talks about Lake Charles and Lafayette, New Iberia, which is super cool, rather than Starliner. So it's a very unique piece in here. You can see the condition of the safety card, which is so cool. So I'll kind of see how wide I can get there, but you can get a really good view there of all the various notes in there. So it talks about the daily system, the north and eastbound, and then it talks about Dallas, Beaumont, Port Arthur, and just all the various routes that they had. So it's super cool. Let me know if you'd like to see a video on this. I would definitely be happy to go into more detail on it, but you can see here the main route map there, which is quite nice. So all the way from El Paso all the way to Memphis, so they definitely span quite a way, and then all the way down to McAllen, and then they had a couple of routes in Arkansas, and then the new routes in Louisiana there. So this was a very critical time for Trans-Texas Airways, of course, and they continued to expand service for quite some time. Also interesting to note the cars on there too, so that's nice. And it says leave at least 20 minutes before the flight time. So all this is super cool, and definitely really glad to see this quick reference schedule right here. And then you can take a look here at the back as well. Has some more information, so this is super cool, in really good shape as well, great condition. So glad to have this, and definitely will be a very cool timetable for many years to come. And then we have a Braniff International timetable. This one's a little bit older, from January 2nd, 1966, has a really good color on it. So here's the main route map, and I thought this would be really great as there's quite a bit going on at Tulsa here with service to Chicago, O'Hare, I think that's just Fort Smith, and Oklahoma City, and Dallas, Fort Worth, along with, I think those are all of them. So definitely a really expansive route system here for Braniff International. You can also see their South America presence there at the bottom right, so that's super cool to see. So yeah, certainly a bunch going on, plenty of flights internationally as well. So this is really cool to note. So you can see where it opens here. It talks about the ticket offices, so on and so forth. And obviously we have quite a few items to dive into, so I won't go into the full weeds on it. But again, if you'd like a video on it, feel free to let me know. But let me see if I can find a internationals are in the back. That's really cool. So let's see if we can find, there was also some United and Continental partnerships, which is really cool. Trying to see if there's much Tulsa information here, but it seems like it's a little bit different format than what I'm used to. So I'm trying to see how they have it laid out, but I think they have it laid out by the direction you're going. So this would have been during the time they were running planes in such order. So yeah, this is still really cool though. I'll give you one nice page here so you can get a better look. So you can see, sorry, they easily can fold in and out. I need Gemini Just 1975 to help me out with this one, because this is pretty complex for my entry-level knowledge here. But you can see here when the planes leave. So for instance, like on that left side, leaving Chicago at 12:45 on the Bach 111, and then all the way to Tulsa by, it just depends on these, but it appears there's one on the far left there, a Bach 111 at 2:32. So it's a little complicated, but you can definitely get it there. So very cool to see that. And definitely a long ways to go to understand this. So this is definitely the easiest page to understand. So that's great, and certainly super glad to have that. Now this is definitely getting a full video, so definitely stay on the lookout for it. But this is a Southwest Airlines annual report from 1993. This is a really cool piece. Now, since I'm doing a full video here, I'm not gonna dive completely into detail, because I'll do that in the video, because there's a bunch going on. But pretty much this whole entire annual report goes into all the details on the shareholders, what's going on with them. Then they talk significantly about low cost. There's a bunch of really cool graphics in here as well. Then we go into detail about aircraft utilization, so that's really cool as well. And then they have this really cool pop-out page. It's going to be a little tough to show in this frame, but anyway, here are the hearts, and it talks about every station manager. Don't let my other document fall out there. The heroes of the heart, every employee at an airport being super helpful, which is really cool. Triple Crown One customer service is in there, and then this is by far the best page in my opinion. The expansion for 1993 with new service to Baltimore, Louisville, and San Jose, California. But a really cool page, and again, feel free to check out this full video when it comes out. But then from here, it goes into more details about the outlook, and then we get into the full data number here on the industry conditions, so on and so forth. Here's some various pages here with the operating revenues. 1993 was a really good year. Now, Southwest did have a really good jump in 1982, so all these numbers are reflected here, as you can see. But 1983 was significant. They had like $150,000 net revenue, so on and so forth. There's also a full meeting of the shareholders there from May of 1994 that came with it, so that was really cool. I think I got it for $20, which I thought was a really fair price considering the quality of the document, along with I mean, you can't just go out and get this anywhere, that's for darn sure. So it's really cool to finally have an annual report in my collection, and I think this will be quite a useful asset for many years to come. I definitely am stoked for the video, so definitely please consider checking it out when it comes out, because it'll be really great. I'm certainly looking really forward to it. To kind of break this up a little bit, since we've been looking at so much paper, I did get two plastic aircraft to add to that fleet of mine. So let me go ahead and show you those, because they were really great deals. So we have a Flight Miniatures 1-200 Southwest 737-300 in the Triple Crown 1 livery with the Desert Tail. I think I got this for $10, which I thought was really good. So really excited to add this to the fleet here, and it'll be really good on the shelf. So yeah, certainly a really good looking aircraft. I won't dive too far into it because there's really not too much to dive into, but you got Triple Crown on there on the logo, nose rather, and the decal is really nice. Overall mold solid for the 737-300. Let me know if you'd like to see this in a future video. I definitely can do another video on it to get a little bit more detail, but it is relatively basic. Right side does have the baggage doors, which is quite nice. Actually, they don't. That's how basic it is. Wow. So great deal there, and certainly super glad to have that. And we also have I don't know if this is Flight Miniatures or who made this, but this is a British Airways 747-400 that I got for $15. I offered on that initial price. I think this one, the Project Utopia liveries. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can find any branding on it, but it appears probably to be a Flight Miniature, I would assume. But anyway, really great model here. Not too much detail outside of Boeing 747. Actually, it's backwards, but I think, or maybe not, but it says like maybe Italy, Missibazo. I'm not exactly sure, but anyways, we have a really cool tail fin here. I'm not exactly sure where we're representing there, but it's certainly really cool. But yeah, it's really cool to have a bigger British Airways 747 now, so this is real nice, and I think it'll be quite a useful aircraft for a very long time. So this one will look cool on the shelf, and again, for $15, I thought it was a really good deal. So I also, at one point during the show, had I want to say, I'm forgetting what it was, but I had two, maybe Aviation 777 and one other, and I ended up selling them back because I was actually a vendor at the show for the first time, splitting table with AS Aviation. That was a bunch of fun, and I just put it on the table because I was like, well, if I can get a fair deal for them, might as well sell them right after I bought them for a really good price, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, that was really cool. Another super cool piece that I've been eyeing at Chris's table for a couple months now is this Air Atlas from United Airlines. I thought about getting this in Dallas, didn't happen, but I ended up getting it here. So this goes into the full mileage there, and I'm gonna have to show you this because it's so cool. So what an Air Atlas is a full route map, but literally a map of the region. So in this case, it's gonna be the entire United States of America. So I'm gonna do my best to show you here without making it too ratchet, but as you can see here, we have a beautiful map of the United States. Sorry, that's really not really wanting to press down on me there. I'm trying to get it to stay down so we don't have any shade anywhere, but you can really get a better view there with regards to the route map, especially on the East Coast. There is really where it went strong. So you can see significant operations there in New York, Philadelphia, Washington, and then we obviously had plenty out of Chicago already. Atlanta, Florida had plenty of service too. And then it talks about the position plotter on here. It talks about the United Airlines routes and the time zone changes, so on and so forth. And then there is a better look there at the middle area. If you're curious, they flew to Memphis at this point. No service in Oklahoma. We did have quite a bit over there to Denver as well at this point, which is really cool. And then let me lower this so you can get a little bit better view there of the limited California operations, but they did have some really interesting work over here by El and Elko, Nevada, which is really interesting. You also got places like right here. And then I'm trying to see if there's anywhere else. Boise had a really significant operation. I'm not sure what that was about. That's super cool. Again, 1996 here, and 1966 rather. And then you got the depth of the nose. So yeah, this is super cool, and I definitely would be delighted to do a video on this one too. So if you're interested, feel free to let me know in the comments, and we can dive more into that very I don't want to say complex, but very detailed operation. I didn't even see this part. This is super cool. Here's the Hawaii Island service. So obviously they flew into Hilo and Honolulu, and then they had a kind of inter island service there to many places, including all the places really. So that's super nice right there. And then it talks about discovering America with all the various regions: Southwest, Middle South, South, so on and so forth, Midwest, the Rockies, the Plain States. So there's certainly plenty going on there, to say the least. And that's certainly really cool to observe right there. So that's all really nice. Okay, so after a really good rundown on the United Air Atlas, let's continue on to our next item. That's gonna be the safety cards. So we have quite a few of them before we get back to my actual flights. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of those. Well, there goes half the items, but luckily I think they survived that drop, so good news there. Okay, our first item is going to be this US Air 737-400 safety card. I don't have a US Air item yet. I don't even have a model, so I thought it was only fair to get a safety card. So 737-400 there in the top left, and you can see all the various illustrations here. This one was made by, it doesn't say who it was made by, but usually I can find somewhere on here. where it says who it was made by. This is a very unique flap for the exit row seating. That's really cool, but here's what it looks like. Very, very, very simple, but definitely gets the job done. I don't know why DC9's right there, but that's pretty funny. But anyway, the map there at the top's correct. And then it talks about all that. Sorry that I can't find, I guess there's quite a bit right there though, isn't there? Sorry that I can't find who made this. Here's the back. It also has some great information. So yeah, definitely super cool to get a US Air 734, and that's absolutely awesome. The next one is going to be a TWA Boeing 727. Really cool that TWA had the seatbelt on here for a very long time, so that was appealing. And then obviously the inside is beautiful too. I don't see who this was made by, but anyway, this was 2000 and the US Air was a 1992 revision. Okay, so as you can tell, really solid detail, very basic, but definitely some great detail. Doors, exits, all that's really nice there for the 727. And all the pages in there, very simple. It definitely looks like a 727 this time, so that's really nice. So definitely a bunch of really good pages there, really big on the luggage. Sorry about that, everybody. That's what happens when you run out of phone storage because you're pre-recording like a mother trucker. Anyway, here is a United BAE 146 safety card. Has the light blue up there. There was another aircraft, I think it maybe was a Donier, but anyways, this is a 1990 revision by Aero Safety Graphics, which we've seen several safety cards from them in the 80s and 90s. So let's take a look at this one. So plenty of writing there on the front, and then really nice, easy to read text there for smoke, fire, debris. So that's really unique to this one. Definitely goes into more luggage detail there, and then what you can't bring. So yeah, all these are really unique. There's not really much a consistent trend, but the AB method is used here, so that's nice to see. And the wraps definitely have plenty of attention there, so really good that they got the graphics right there, so that's really great. So overall, super cool to have this, and overall that's a really cool safety card. The next one definitely is a super cool one. I do have a 757 that I got from AS Aviation like this previously at Airlines International in Chicago in 2022. I got a 727 to go with it, so this is really cool safety features on the 727. There's the beautiful bowling shoe livery. I think this is sometime in 2000, maybe 2001 of April for this exact safety card. So you got some writing there on the front, and then what's super unique about these is just obviously how they're laid out. So you can see here black and white there, and it shows real life pictures, which is not every day that you have that, but there's all those, seatbelt, the harness. Interesting how they changed up the person every time, and also how they position themselves for sure. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the next day. Unfortunately, I was not able to finish before dinner last night. So anyway, Northwest 727 safety card. It's a really cool one once again with all these various illustrations, and overall, this looks really good. So definitely super glad to have that. Our next piece is going to be a relatively new safety card. Thank you, TL Aviator, for getting me an American Airlines E321 revision. So this is the brand new American Airlines layout. We'll start to see this debut in their fleet over the next handful of years. As you can see here, it is a completely new design. So let's go ahead and take a look. So as you can see, it's a new gray swoop, which is really different relative to, I just have one right here, so might as well show it off and compare it. The just full line that we've had in the past. Obviously, we've had this white to blue gradient for a very, very long time in some capacity. Now we have just this full out flat one. So I personally think it's not a problem at all. It's just a little bit different to get used to. So definitely will take some time, but yeah, it's certainly super cool to have this now. So as E321 right here, I hope this is different color on every plane like it is for the other ones there on the top. So fingers crossed, but this one's gray in this case. A321 EWO 324 revisions, so came out in March 2024. They have safe travels really big here, and then now the American Airlines logo is down here, which is very different relative to it being in the top right previously. So definitely a little bit different. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. It is pretty similar on the inside. However, there are some new changes. As you can see here, we have the timers kind of back, so that's really cool. The brace positions are also really present. All these are kind of like more cartoon-like, if that makes sense, even more what they were previously, but a huge emphasis on life rafts. And then technology certainly has also made its rounds there with the airplane mode and all the other various actions going on there. So there's certainly a bunch going on there, door operations, so on and so forth. So they've done a really good job. Let me know if you'd like to see a video on this. This is by the Interactive group now, so really cool to see this, and definitely really excited to get to see more of these safety cards and do more videos on them. So yeah, but this is certainly really cool, and definitely really glad to see this right here. That's absolutely awesome. There was also a really cool vendor from, I think it was Lafayette, Indiana, I'm pretty sure, and this is the rail and road auctions, but they actually have some really cool airline memorabilia right there, which is really cool. Pacific Northwest United poster. We had the Colorado one previously, so really cool to see that. So Definitely a bunch of really cool memorabilia there. They're looking for quite a few airline items there, so that's really awesome. So just thought I'd show that off. Didn't end up getting any items from them, but I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, that is all the airline memorabilia. Let's continue on with the flights here as we had an American Airlines Boeing 787-8 here, or -9 rather, still trying to get an 8 from Chicago to Dallas, because why not do that when you can get a good mile redemption on it? So of course the October 2022 787 revision. I feel like I've got different ones previously, but I might be wrong on that. So still really cool to have the 787 here though. And as you can see, relative to the previous one, it's still relatively similar. I mean, there are some changes. I love the big seats there on the 787. That's super cool, along with the taxi takeoff landing. So 787 definitely has a bunch going on. This is the first time we're actually looking at one here in this series, as I wasn't doing these prior during my last Dreamliner flight. So these are really cool to look at. I love the emergency exit illustrations there. It's really, really cool. The business class seat's definitely the coolest part, hands down. But this is all really great. So definitely cool to see all that in the small windows. So very applicable to the 787. You can see the exit door, so on and so forth. It looks a little different from that perspective, but that's how it looks. And this one's also really good there too. So very similar, just some changes there as you can see, and it is by the same company there. So they obviously just changed it up a little bit, but this is the October 2022 revision. So that's really cool to see. And of course I have the boarding pass, don't worry, it is printed. So we have the, this is just the one that came out of the Chicago ticket counter there. So really cool to see this on May 12th, 2024. Chicago to Dallas Fort Worth, group 638 is our seat. So no, it's not 737 because those do have 33 rows, but it is indeed a Boeing 787-9. So very cool to see this right here. I don't know what the 72G means, but that's really cool to have on there anyway. And yeah, really great to get another cardstock boarding pass. Also, here's a little United napkin because we love free in-flight messaging. And then our next step is the in-flight entertainment manual for May 2024. We've looked at these fairly in depth previously. It looks like there are some movie changes, but the UI appears to be, or sorry, not the UI, but the formatting appears to be nearly identical to the previous one. They might have changed the font up just a little bit, but it appears to be nearly identical to me. And then here we have the AA Advantage 50,000 for the Aviator card, so that's pretty cool to see. And then we have our last flight of the day on this American Airlines Airbus A321 from Dallas to Tulsa. Really glad to get on this flight. It was a little bit delayed, but I did get the old style boarding pass at DFW. I don't know when they're ever going to either run out of paper or change this, but this is still super cool to run across every time. This one printed out pretty well, nearly on the lines. Most of the time I've seen them off quite a bit, but this one printed pretty well. There's 23F for this flight. It was a brimmed aircraft, so definitely super glad to make it on the flight on this day. And DFW was having an absolute thunderstorm meltdown as usual during this time frame, so was certainly thrilled to get on and get home considering the circumstances of the day. So here is the safety card right here, a little beat up, but the A321 EWO green one, which I think is my first one of these, I'm not sure, but anyway, this is for the February 2022 revision. You can see relatively similar characteristics to the 787. A couple of differences there. Obviously, the aircraft's sideways on this one, and the doors are presented a little bit differently, but definitely quite a bit going on there, and it looks quite nice. So yeah, definitely would love to do an American safety card collection sometime, but considering how many I have, it'd be pretty tough. This is a 2021 print, by the way, but yeah, really cool to have this, and overall that looks really nice. And then I have a little bit of United pretzels right there, and the American Airlines pretzels for New York, their operation there. And then next up, we go on to our next day trip, which was for the Southwest Companion Pass. So here we go on a Southwest 737-700 from Tulsa to St. Louis, and then obviously St. Louis on to Dallas, which we'll take a look at that boarding pass shortly. But B34 gave B5, so pretty standard in reference to the design. We also had it stapled for the next boarding pass, which was really cool. But standard boarding passes, and let me go ahead and show you the second boarding pass here, as we got an even better position on this American Airlines, or sorry, this Southwest Airlines 737-700 from St. Louis to Dallas at 8:59. Really great to have that. And this was actually a round trip all in one day from gate E14. So it actually has Dallas to Denver on there, which I thought was extremely cool. So super happy to get that. That was epic. So really cool to see that right there. So that was really awesome. Crazy to think that we were boarding at 7:20. That flight was early, the first one that is. So really efficient connection. Super glad we were able to make it there. And then we'll look at the safety cards in just a second, because I want to show you these boarding passes in sequence, because it is super cool. Because it went all in order. It can't list 3, but it can list 2 at a time. From Dallas Love Field to Denver, first time doing that route. I've done DFW to Denver, but not love the Denver. So out of gate 7 there, 3:30 boarding on 737-800, got 8:37 in a pretty good seat. So that was awesome. Really enjoyed that one. The print there from June 2023 on the boarding pass, and overall that looks really nice right there. So definitely a really cool boarding pass right there from May of 2023. And our last one is kind of a different one, because what happened was it gave me the boarding passes for those first 3 flights, but it didn't give me the last flight for whatever reason until the very end, and I don't know why, but it ended up getting C11 there on that Southwest 737-800 from Denver to Tulsa. I didn't upgrade this, I just decided to go with the flow, and I was able to end up getting like 28F or an equivalent seat. So I still got a window, which was great, but obviously here, as you can see, 6:50 departure there, 737-800, flight 813, way earlier than normally what I would leave out there, because that was a Saturday, so we ended up getting back at 9:30, which, considering the time we left, that ended up working out really well, so that was really great. Last but certainly not least, I won't go into too much detail on these since we've looked at them so many times, but we do have a couple of 737-700 safety cards in really good shape, and same song second verse for 2 737-800 safety cards. So one of these was supposed to be a max, but it got substituted. But anyway, that's all good, and we definitely love to see that. So let me line up all this memorabilia, and then we'll conclude today's video, and then super excited for the next Airline Collectible Haul. So let's go ahead and line this up, guys. Alrighty, guys, as you can see, it was definitely a very successful Airline Collectible Haul, so I really hope all of you enjoyed this. As you can see over here, we got the United safety cards, the American 787, American E321, and then we got all the Southwest flights, 2 700s and an 800. We also got that beautiful Southwest annual report. That's awesome. The United Air Atlas. And then, of course, we got various safety cards over there, like the US 734, TWA 727, United BAE 146, LGA advertisement there, which is super cool. Northwest 727, the American E321, and then a couple of timetables there at the end as well. So definitely a very successful haul, I would argue. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear. But anyway, super happy about this. Definitely a very successful Airline Collectible Haul. I definitely expect many more to come in the future, everybody. So with all that being said, that'll do for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon, as Redriveraviation is signing off.